Whew, wow, it's just too hot. Whew, it's too hot to keep my hair down. Whew, it's a hot one today, everybody. It's in the 90s, and the humidity is 98%. Woo! Oh, it's a steamy one. Yeah, we just got done harvesting some of our garden stuff up at the in the green stalks. It is really amazing. It's not like you could, feed a big family, but Dave and I get so excited every time we just start harvesting things, and we are eating tomatoes off the vine and peppers, and so it's just a lot of fun. And I don't know. I mean, I see why there's so many people out there doing gardening videos and things, and that's not really anything what this is about. But for me, it's about the alchemization of all of it, and I think for every gardener too, it's about that. It's about the appreciation and the gratitude of the combination of just a little tiny, tiny seed and the sun and some water and some attention and love, and we get to eat the things, that are produced from that alchemization, and and the soil and all the critters and the insects and everything that it takes, and the bees, and just everything that it takes to make those things happen, and to watch that miracle unfold, and then eat it, and supply your body with it's like you can feel the nutrients when you're eating them, and it is such a different experience than buying it at the store. And it's not that they weren't grown and handpicked and someone loved and cared for them, but I think maybe the distance and the shipping, and maybe there isn't that conscious love involved as much as it is when you're doing your own and it's yours. And I'm telling you, it's been, there's days when you're just like, oh my God, I gotta water again, because and if you're new, we're here in the central Alabama, and it is there, but it's beautiful. Like, the nights are gorgeous. It's been in the in the 60s and 70s in the evenings, but the humidity has just been really high. So Dave was just talking about that. About it's not really just the humidity, the heat, and of course in the desert everyone says it's it's a dry heat, and I've never been to the desert, so I don't really know what that feels like. Most people say, like, open your oven door, and that's kind of what that feels like. That dry heat that's at you. But it's relentless. But we've been wanting to, hang out in our, sleep in our tent that we set up, and it's just been, last night it was just way too humid. When the humidity's up there in the 80s and the 90%, and the plants are starting to struggle, and it's just, they get so hot and so dried out so fast. But anyway, that's kind of beside the whole thing. But that's part of what this video is about. So, hi, everyone. Where's my little book? Actually, I started the camera. Yes, it's that one. Thank you. And hang on, let me grab I need my spectacles. I was playing around with my camera doing the wave thing to start and stop the video, and it just started the video. So I just decided to start talking, which is kind of funny because that's sort of what this video is about too. Is we've talked a little bit recently about the color blue, chakra systems, our chakra systems, how nature stimulates our chakra systems, how it literally brings our belief systems up for us to take a look at, or it creates new ones, new ideas, new inspirations on how to do things. Maybe you're looking for a new job. Maybe you want to know how to better handle a situation. Maybe someone in your family, like me, which I haven't really talked about yet, but maybe there's someone who's very, very sick in your family. My life is not without these things. Just because I don't always talk about it or talk about my feelings about these things on YouTube, but I think that's what this video is about, is for all of us. And I feel, when I start to feel the welling of the emotions as I'm starting to talk, I know that I've been in a channeling state all morning. So there's things that came out this morning. We're connecting our dots, all of us. As we're awakening spirits, we will see something, a title. For me, we'll see some numbers. I'll see a title on a video. And it was like, I told Dave, I said, I don't want to watch the video. I want to see what messages I get just from, and it wasn't on purpose. It was just like, I was getting channeled information as soon as I saw the title of the video. So so I wanted to stop the video and not be necessarily influenced by the information, but to see how is this relating to me right now. And there was some kind of to me, they were like awakening kinds of putting the dots together, which have to do with opening contact and open contact with ourselves specifically, initially, and then opening contact to our star beings, our extraterrestrial friends and families, and all of that. And Dave and I, if you're not familiar, we do have a channel, a YouTube channel called Open Contact TV, which another thing, there's so many things going on in our life that we're excited about, so we're focus on this for a little while, focus on this, or balancing those throughout the day. So oftentimes we're making videos on like 2-3 different channels because so many different things excite us. And yet it's weird how all they mesh together, but yet they're each kind of their own sort of energy focus. And so we've been talking a lot more about doing more of the things that have to do with that. But yet, for me, since I understand everything's connected, for me, all of this stuff, including these little blue flowers that I wanted to talk about, are still connected to that idea of opening contact, because what the message for me was these last few weeks, and my own chakra activations, as you know, we talk about the color of flowers and the language of flowers. Color is a language. Color is a vibration. We know these things. This is science, nothing new. It's a vibration. It's a resonance. All of us resonate with a particular frequency and vibration at any given time for different reasons at different times, just like we want different foods. Most people don't want to eat the same thing all day, every day, over and over, and it wouldn't be nutritionally balanced then, probably. So the idea is to be nutritionally balanced spiritually as well. And for me, separating these things out has been a little bit more challenging than talking about them all in the same channel, because I understand the synchronicity and the connections to everything. And like I was hearing this morning, and yesterday, oh my God, yesterday too, we were the connections that came out. I was just thinking about what we were talking about yesterday. Dave's right beside me, about Willa, and the story about Willa, and Daryl Anka wrote books. And Willa is one of the characters. And I just was getting flooded with I was getting flooded with information about the person, Daryl Anka, the channel, and Willa, the person, and their integration, their timelines, their oversoul connections. And I was having the best chat with Willa. And so, but this is how it comes out. So, is that only extraterrestrial talk? Is that only for open contact? Not really, because that's part of what I've been doing for all this time on YouTube, is telling everybody how it's all connected. How you can't separate it, how it's not separated. So it's kind of funny that way. But, we live in this world of, if I'm going to talk about gardening, I got to talk about it in gardening channel. If I want to talk about camping, I got to make a camping channel, but do I want to fall into those belief systems? No. So I'm also learning.
And we saw that other video about this woman who says that she's
I dropped my flowers.
Had a what's a term that they use? I don't use it anymore. The soul.
Oh, the one we saw. Oh, mainstream news. We're watching like a morning news station, right? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. From like Australia or the UK maybe. And a woman, it's like a woman's talking about being a starseed, being an alien, and she's talking about it on a mainstream, television morning show. And I can't remember the name of it. Otherwise, I would give you. If I find it, I'll give you the link, because like I said, I'm not sure. But so here Dave and I are looking at each other, going, we've just changed. We've moved into reality. Dave and I, we're seeing mainstream television talking about, I am a starseed, I'm an alien, I'm not really from here. Walk-ins, right? Yeah. And she was talking about oversouls and walk-ins, and how she wasn't born a starseed, but then she became a starseed because they switched souls. Not exactly.
Well, we understand that to be an old way of looking at it.
Yes.
But it's really just becoming more of who you truly are, and more of your.
Can you guys hear Dave? I know. I sit in my corner and he's over here, and I start the video, and I'm in blue. He's sitting in a blue chair and a blue shirt.
But I'm connecting that story to the idea that, you know, if you want to consider us as starseeds, part of our job as starseeds is bringing this information from different channels, literally, even on YouTube. So, you know, we have our RV Free Spirits channel, which talks about sort of camping.
Oh, I don't even, we did share that. Yeah, RV Free Spirits, our other camping channel.
Sharing, you know, getting back into nature in a different channel, in a different way, to really bring forth our energy and excitement to those that might never be thinking about looking up light language. So the same thing with the Open Contact TV. It's only recently that the idea of light language being connected to open contact and all of those things. There are only really a few people that have talked about those connections. So now mainstream UFO related things are catching up to all this. So literally we have multiple channels to represent this information for the path of least resistance, for the people that are interested in it to be able to get it and be exposed to it.
And that's exactly true, because I was questioning whether or not I should be doing different channels and does it represent separation and all that. But again, I'm reminded from my own guides and my angel guides that there's so many different guides that are helping us every day in every realm. And so it's not just the angels, it's not just the fairies, it's not just the elementals, it's not just our ETs. We're all of that. So we're always, as you know, I'm always talking about that, about we're always getting information through everything, because everything speaks its own language. And it's all from the light, hence languages of lights. So, and yes, and that whole idea about getting back into nature. And the funny thing is then, as Dave and I are actually doing the things, like being in nature, sleeping in nature, there's something different about sleeping in nature. I don't know why, but we are like almost not obsessed, but we love sleeping outside. And
there's a connectiveness.
And I think everybody says that when they, like, if you go camping or whatever, it's like, even if it's uncomfortable, you're like, I think that was one of the best sleeps I ever had. You know,
even if when we sleep on our sun porch, that connection seems
it
stronger.
Because our sun porch is
and a belief, but you know, we sleep on our sun porch. It's inside.
It's inside, but it's not air conditioned. It's not heated. It's right above us. So it's all windows, and let me tell you, even during the day, like right now, we can't even go in there. It's literally like over 100 degrees in there. So we can't even sit in there.
Sleeping on your porch, sleeping out on your deck.
How many people love sleeping in a hammock, sleeping in their lawn chair? I don't think that we need to sell that. You know what I mean? That's just a thing, I think, innately. So the message that this flower, so this is a cornflower, and we've talked about blue in nature and corn, and many people know the term cornflower blue, and that's what this is. And I don't know how well it is, if it comes through exactly on camera. Like on camera, it looks a little bit more purple, but that's the magic of this plant. It is almost a purple hue. Several years ago, I got really excited about this new I think it's called a Pantone color now, but you know, some scientists accidentally mixed some colors, and they called it Min Yin Blue. Min Yin Blue, or the new blue. I got so excited about this color because it just like activated something in me. I don't know why it excited me so much, but so I was totally, and I could throw a link in there too. But do your research, guys. Do your homework. Do your homework.
Well, many different channels have talked about the idea that as you raise your frequency, you get exposed to colors you've never seen before.
That's true, you guys.
And the idea when people like have trips on different drugs and stuff,
Right,
see
and I've never
psychedelic
done that
things, they see
psychedelic
colors
stuff.
and things that they don't experience normally. But
Right.
they exist in higher vibration.
Well, Bashar says that too. That their planet, and I've actually gone there. In meditation, telepathically, if you want to call it astral travel, yes, I have astral travel to the planet of Esasani. The colors there are colors we just can't experience here in our 3D, in our 3D body, and that. But when we go there in our meditations, we can bring back that the light, the language, the information that's in the light of those colors. And even if we're not explaining something in a particular way, we're in our essence then walking through our new reality because we're new every moment. We're now walking through this new reality containing that, and are able to just emit that as we walk through our world. And that alone helps us better connect with our higher selves, our heart, our own inner chakra systems. And you start to see how it helps you navigate through life and your relationships and all the things that go along with that, and work and all of that, because now you're dealing with different versions of those things, different versions of those people. It's a new workplace. We don't think of it that way, but if you look at it, if you want to really play with this and start playing with manifesting the reality you prefer, start picturing the thing you want. Start picturing the workplace. If instead of waking up going, oh my God, I don't want to go there, it's toxic, I hate it, I'm bored, I'm whatever, this is not the job of my dreams. We've all been there.
So the trick is, as you create your imaginatory idea of what your workplace to be like, and you immerse yourself in that idea, and when you go to work, if you have a place that you go to work, act as if that is how your work is, and you will see changes. They might be subtle at first. It might be triggering a change within the company that you're doing. You're not having a meeting to talk about your ideas. You're not writing emails to your manager.
Right, exactly.
You're not, breaking the rules to make a point. You are just acting in integrity, honoring the situation as it is, but still being in the energy and acting the way that you see your workplace to be, and maybe being nice to the people who are not being nice to you.
And
even though they're not being nice to you, still be nice to them. And you will see those changes actually become part of your reality. Maybe not the way you think they will.
That's another thing, without insistence, you guys, because don't be looking for the change. Therein lies insistence, and then if it doesn't work out the way you expected, you're going to still be upset and be disappointed and say, see, I told you it doesn't work.
and sometimes you're doing a favor to the company by either injecting that change into the environment, or maybe for your better all good for yourself.
So I'm looking at Dave.
Maybe it's they decide that they are not in alignment with what your reality wants to be, and you get fired. But that only is allowing you to more efficiently and in the path of least resistance to have the thing that is in more alignment get to you.
Let me just say, all of you, that happened to me. It did. And not only did it happen to me, but it was like I had this conscious moment where I said to myself, if I say this thing that I'm going to say, it's going to change everything for me at this job. And I knew it was kind of like I sort of saw the future, if you want to look at it way. Like I said, it was like a split second. I saw, like, if I say this, it's going to change everything for me. And if I don't say it, I'll still be here. And for some reason, I said the thing I wanted to say, and I said it anyway, and it created literally what Dave just said. it just created circumstances right out of that job. And it did lead me to something more in harmony with my core vibration. So isn't that interesting? So thank you for bringing that up.
And when these things happen, you think that it's going to take a long time for the thing to manifest. But manifestations happen instantly. It's only our own beliefs that slow them down.
Good point, too.
And sometimes we want to see the process of it happening.
That's why we're here, the process. So, and then that reminded me of what Bashar said about your threshold of believability. When you think of something you really, really want, you ask yourself, well, how long do I believe it will take to get that? And then you start moving closer and closer. Oh, a year, yeah. 6 months, yeah. A month, ooh. Why do I believe it's... So why do you believe? Oh, wait a minute, I can't do that in a month. Well, maybe there are things that you need to do, and you want to go through the process of all these things. But again, like Dave just said, the manifestation part's done, you guys. It's the process you want to go through.
When you think to yourself, wow, there's no way I could do that in a month, or that could happen in a month. That's an opportunity for you to determine and investigate why you think that, because it could happen in a moment. So as you think about these things, you can start dwindling it down to even less and less time. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you might be, well, it's going to take a couple days. Well, that is what you have decided at a higher level is the amount of time you want it to take to experience it fully. So
yes,
then just understand, well, it's going to be a couple days, or maybe it's going to be a couple months. But if you're always following your highest joy and excitement, you're going to get there in the path of least resistance, and for the best, not only for yourself, but for the good of all. And in that journey, you're also serving the all and all of humanity by doing the things that you're doing in your highest enjoyment, because you're allowing the rest of the collective, so to speak, to get where they want to go in their path of least resistance.
Absolutely. I keep hearing that over and over again. The manifestation is, like Dave just said, in the moment. Like the manifestation already happened. So all of a sudden I heard somebody say, I'm moving to Italy. Okay, so I'm just going to use that because that's what popped in my head when Dave was talking. Somebody said, I'm moving to Italy. So, okay, I'm not moving to Italy. But the point was, the moment you say, I think I want to move to Italy. I'm moving to Italy. The manifestation's done. Okay, now that reality is already done in there. Now you get to be the process of it.
Do
you want to move tomorrow?
You're just connecting to the reality of which you have moved to Italy. So that reality exists because everything is now. And the question is, if you're excited about moving to Italy, the time it takes to move to Italy is just totally up to you.
Exactly. And yes, you can say, oh, well, I got to do this, and I got to sell my stuff, and I got to get tickets, and I got to do this. That's absolutely true. And you could get on a plane tomorrow and go start looking in places to live. I don't have the money to do that. Okay, what can we do?
But getting rid of all these beliefs allows the path of least resistance to happen. So, for instance, you decide, for whatever reason, you're drawn to the idea of moving to Italy. You don't have money. You got to find a job. You don't know anything about Italy. But what happens
and you don't speak Italian.
And you don't speak Italian. So the way these things happen is when you let go of all of those beliefs, all of a sudden you get an email from a travel company, a travel agency, having a sale on trips to Italy or vacation packages to Italy that are on sale, and maybe you could afford it.
Or you call a realtor. I just heard that. Or you call the realtor.
Well, that's a message for somebody. So all of a sudden now you have funds you didn't think you would have had 1 minute ago.
Exactly.
And if you keep the ball rolling and the gears turning on these things, number one, when you're consciously aware that that's what's happening, that process in itself could really be fun and
Is this
exciting.
weird, you guys, with Dave over there talking and you can't see him? I hope you can hear my camera. I was just thinking about that.
I'll come and say hi.
And of course, this is once again one of those impromptu, hi Dave. You want to sit by me a little or no? I want to make sure they can hear you, that's all. If you want to kind of come sit by me and I'm sitting in my little corner here. And like I said, we just got done harvesting stuff and I was like, I picked these flowers and I'm like, I need to do this video because that's what this is about. So hang on, I'm going to pause for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I was just thinking too.
And poof, here I am.
Here's Dave. I was just thinking too that like the whole camping thing and the idea of RVing, all of those ideas came out of one, I will say, partially fear, but yet it opened up a new door for us that we knew we wanted this and that, and that's kind of when we were talking about manifestation and belief systems, and we really wouldn't still be in this house, honestly, had it not been for continuing that idea of following our highest joy, visualizing what you want, and realizing it doesn't have to be this or that, it can be this and that. And that's one of the reasons we're in this house, because we manifested that by every time I would turn that corner into the negative or into the things are not the way I want it to be, and oh my God, I wish things would change, and I need to push and change, and I need to do something, and Dave needs to do something. You need to do something about this.
Somebody call somebody.
Somebody call somebody, yeah. And
some of it is sifting and sorting.
And that's and yet moving through all of that and being in that moment and going, okay, here I am in the very exact circumstance that our guides have been talking about, and I'm talking about channelers and all of that have been telling us, okay, now apply those things. It's easy to apply them when things are doing well, or that it's something easy. But when it's something like, oh my God, I might lose my house, what am I going to do? I'm going to lose my house. It was like the reality of that idea became so overwhelmingly inconceivable to me. And yet it spawned that idea of, oh, well, if we have to sell our house, what are we going to do? Are we going to live on the road? Are we going to rent? What do we do? How long can we make it? How long can we go without you having a job? All of those things came into place. Plus, we had all kinds of other stuff. If you've been watching the channel for a while, a lot of the stuff that was, even 3 or 4 years ago, I would have never imagined we'd even be here together in this house alone. And anyway, so that is part of what this is all about. This color, this message, which is really weird because when I first saw this, it was about seeing it in your third eye and connecting it to your voice. Okay, we did a video a little while ago about the whole heart chakra and the green and the blue and speaking your truth from your heart. Okay, going from the heart, speaking from the heart. Now it was like I was getting the opposite with this darker blue, this other color blue, closer to the violet, and the violet flame, that idea of the beyond violet, ultraviolet idea, okay? Pink, I'm in this color pink today. I feel like today I'm actually surrounded in like kind of pink energy, if that makes sense. But I've been wanting to do this video for a little while on these cornflowers. And I actually had, now what do I do with the book? I actually had the page saved on the card. I must have done it. Whoops. Like, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. I've had it saved in my Language of Flowers book for a couple of days. And the message has been coming through. And then this morning, as Dave and I were having these channeling epiphanies and things, it was like, and we were picking the vegetables. It was like, okay, now, explain to people how if you take this color into your meditation, any color that you're working on, but if you want to take, and when I say take it into your meditation, it doesn't really mean any more than, oh yeah, I remember what the color looked like, while I'm doing dishes or something, or closing your eyes. It doesn't have to be a big ritual. It's not what I mean. And because I want to take the stigma away from all that. I can't meditate. I can't. You know what? When you just sit and think about this color, you're in meditation. You're already in the vibration and the energy of this color. It's that simple. I want to take the weird out of all this. This is because it's not weird. It's who we are. It's not weird. It's who we actually are. So be mindful of, you don't need somebody to bring you there. You don't need to go into channel meditation. You don't need to go into a trance. You don't need to do all these things and jump through all these hoops. You don't. We are conscious channels. We are conscious creators. All you have to do is remember this color. See, and I'm getting all chills.
And sometimes you might say to yourself, I'm feeling like I need to meditate for a little bit. I need to become more relaxed in the situation that you're in. And you sit down and you're preparing to do your meditation routine, whatever that might be. And you then just think about and picture the blue flowers that Wendy's holding. And then an idea comes to you about going to wash the car. And you're thinking, I don't want to wash the car. I want to meditate. Well, guess what? You did meditate, and you received a message
to go wash
the car. And you could say that wasn't, a guided message.
That's not spiritual.
but maybe by going to wash the car, that's taking you to the next step, to the thing that you you need to see in your meditation.
And then I'm seeing somebody cleaning out their car right now, or thinking about, oh my God, I want to go clean out my car so I can go take a trip. Did you think about that 20 minutes ago? Probably not. You're like, wait a minute. I want to go someplace. I want to do something. Let me go clean out my car so I can. And then you're like, oh, let me check the fluids. Let me get the tire pressure. You're like, all of a sudden now you're embroiled in the excitement of a trip. You're not even sure where you're going or what you're doing, but I got to clean out my car because I want to go somewhere.
Well, and you might find something in the car.
Or that. Okay.
You might find something in the car when you go wash it, that maybe it's a lottery ticket you forgot about. And then all of a sudden, hey, there's a lottery ticket. And then you check the lottery ticket and it's a winner. Or it could be something else that takes you to the next step.
And I have a story about that. Remind me, because I have a story about that for another video about my crystals. My crystals. Anyway, so, anything else you want to add about that? I know it's getting long on the video. See,
do I have to go wash the car?
Sunday with Dave and Wendy. Well, it's funny because we recently washed the car, and I still wanted to kind of clean out the inside. And then, anyway, so I'm not going to get into all that. But maybe we need to maybe we need to clean the trailer. Oh, yeah, we've been talking about washing our trailer, so maybe.
It's like 100 out.
It's, yeah, but we're not doing that when it's 100 out. So, anyway, the language of flowers, again, that whole idea of the color. So let's get back to that idea. And the meditation, again, exactly what he just said. So we're going to move beyond that. I think you guys kind of got the picture on that. So, do you hold my flowers for me? Thank you. And I will say Dave gets just as excited about the flowers as I do. It's something like I said, we've always talked about. And even when we were living in Florida, I said, I said to him, I want to grow thousands of flowers. I did. And anyway, so I wanted to say, I pulled this card from the language of flowers. And like I said, I've had this card in here for a few days because I've been wanting to do this. And honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I saw the color of the flower before I pulled the card was I saw knowledge, third eye knowledge. Like you have all the knowing that you need. And we all as humans need that push to, not push, but that inspiration to now talk about what we're seeing here. This has been our experience the last few days with Dave and I has been about being guided to talk more about what you're seeing, like that lady on mainstream TV. She is, you could tell just by her voice that she has heard all of the negatives, all of the, every time she's talked about this, she's had to kind of sell the idea, and yet it was like she could hear the naysayers, and yet these people were very interested. But that was the point in the story, was now we need to step up. And I say need because it's a human need. As we ascend, it is a need for us. A calling, whatever you want to call it, a push, a spiritual awakening, a vision, your angels, your mother, your deceased, whatever, call it what you will, wherever it comes from, it's still from your higher self. And it's about speaking this knowledge that so you're getting this new spiritual knowledge and you're afraid to speak out. Because mainstream is, not really into all this stuff just yet, but the thing is, it is mainstream because it's who we are. You can buy Daryl Anka's book in Walmart now. So the idea was about now the other direction. Encouraging this color, this flower is encouraging us to be in that third eye vibration, that indigo violet color, and now getting that. See how I'm like getting the courage, get the courage to be messy on camera. Don't worry about what you look like and speak what you saw last night in your dream. Tell people about it. Tell people in your family, because you know what? That's part of the weeding process, right? You guys, the frequential weeding process is about. Okay, I'm going to tell my family. I'm going to tell my friends, and you know what? The people that are not going to vibe with you are just going to disappear. They're just going to die.
We're 36 minutes into the video.
Okay, I know.
So
I get so excited.
If you've lasted this long.
Sunday with Dave and Wendy.
I'm going to say something that could change your life. When you're excited to do something and to share something, it only needs to affect one person.
Thank you. He reminds me of that all the time. He does.
You don't have to worry about thousands of people.
Because I doubt myself all the time, too, about that. It's like,
how am I going to get the word out to enough people to make a difference?
I want to tell the world about all of this.
If you are content with only one other person being helped by what you have to share, or by helping someone, you see someone on the street that could use $1, give them $1. You've helped one person. You only need to help one person.
Thank you. And thank you for that reminder.
If you do that in every opportunity that you have to continue helping one person in those opportunities, that starts to add up a lot. And the other little tidbit is we literally create our own reality. Every single person that we interact with is our own creation for a divine purpose. And if you think of every single interaction and every person that you see as an angel sent to participate in this collective experience, and you treat them as such, it changes everything.
That was very profound, because it does. When you treat them as such, it changes everything. And I practice and I witness this every day wherever I go. At Walmart, the grocery store, everywhere we go. And people literally look at us differently. They do. When we walk in as soon as we walk into a place, as soon as we're interacting and we're just walking around doing things, it's like we're spreading our aura all over the place, and it's like you can feel it. You can feel how people walk and look at you and how they interact with you and how they interact with you at the register. Knowledge. This card is about knowledge. It's about trusting your inner knowing and your knowledge, sharing that knowledge. And I'm really liking, we're talking about the pinks and the blues and also the green. So we're also connecting with our heart and that higher sharing, higher knowledge. I guess if there was any real message to this story, or this, it would be about that. It would be about sharing your knowledge. What did you see? What are you witnessing? Because those two people, those two anchor people, you could sort of see all of the different belief systems washing through their faces. Disbelief, denial, intrigue, and then she would say something and it'd be like, wow. And then you could almost see like little lights going off, and then there's that, no, then the belief systems come back again, and you could see how their body language changed. It was crazy.
And we watched this on YouTube, so
yeah,
every comment was positive.
And that was the other thing. every single person that was commenting was saying something positive. That happened to me too. Oh my God, I'm so glad you're talking about this. I can't believe we're talking about this on mainstream. I swear to God, you guys, every comment, not kidding, it was not one negative thing. I'm so glad you guys you're talking about this because I'm also a starseed. Oh my God, I know about she was talking about Arcturus. And then she was talking about Pleiadians. And then, so all of a sudden people start talking about, oh, I'm a starseed and I do this and I do that. See, that's why I was guided to do this video. And I'm sorry if it's this long because that's how I am. That's who I am. So thank you for taking whatever little bits and pieces you want of this. And just by walking through the world, you're sharing it. But if this inspires you to tell somebody something that you've been spiritual receiving, maybe it's a message that they're waiting for you. You know, my neighbor called me the other day and she said, I had a dream and can I come and meditate with you because I want to help understand the message. I'm like, of course, anytime. Because, you know why? Because I've always been myself with her. I've never not shared who I really was. And does she watch my videos? No, I don't think so. Doesn't matter. But she called me because I was me with her. And she knew when that moment happened, who was she going to call? Me. She didn't call anybody else. She called me. So.
And the funny thing is oftentimes the way it works is her taking the action of calling and the agreement of meeting and talking might have given her the clarity.
Exactly.
Without her having
Maybe
to come
we
over
won't
her.
even need to do it, but the fact is she sent
Open
me
the door.
yes. So that's what this is all about today. Thank you guys so much for being with us today. This really is it's Sunday morning. I told Dave, I said, you know, I get so much information and vibrations in the morning and I don't turn on the camera. And I want to be more of that. So, and stop worrying about who's going to watch and it's too long and blah, blah, blah. You know what? Watch what you want. Watch what you will. Watch a 1 minute. Watch the whole thing. I love you. Either way. Either way, I love you. Because I know, like Dave said, one person. That's what this message is about, is for me to remember one person. All it has to do is, and for you to remember. It only needs, and the thing is, but with no insistence that, oh, I need to go help somebody today. But you know what? That's not a bad thing.
Well, what they do with that information
Acts of kindness
is none of your business.
And what do they call that in Hebrew? Mitzvahs?
Mitzvahs.
Good deeds.
Good deeds.
Good deeds.
So even when you're seeing somebody on the side of the road or sitting on the corner in need of things, but you think, well, they're going to use that for alcohol or drugs or who knows what. If you still help them, if you're inclined to help them with no insistence on what they do
and
with
no
it.
judgment.
And no judgment, because it's
the act.
It's
the angel that, like Dave said, that's the angel.
To see if you're going to
see what you're going to do.
Help. And sometimes you don't have money to give them, but just a kind word.
Exactly. And with a kind word, I will leave you with that. Niatose, timashana. Miala pesono tobi shimaniana, kilesa mostobi mi, indikilasa mostotoncho, azomostobi bashono tobe mende, telesabori kashana toke, kiamazo postoli misele, lajino tobema, atakela somotobe shimonake, tabasono poleshana ke, tamima, lashanoto, kajanoto bimi, lato, konyama, Anima tike gomama shato babeshano tipe teana na te ko na tipijara sapato bonge kishana sipatiana so leshani ni malo ko sabari mashana bimana te kileshani bilana ala seteki sopadum goyama te ala sata matira. Tell me if you needed an English translation to that. Yata. I love you.